Boy, oh boy, oh boy, are things getting crazier as if this drone madness has not been crazy enough. These things are popping up in more cities. This one is New Jersey, but in a couple minutes, you're going to see some right in my own backyard, figuratively, I'd say about 12 miles away from me in Hollywood, California. That is right. And a second one here in greater Los Angeles. Now, originally, as you heard me say a couple times before, look, in this one, even the police are interested. That's right. The police are actually responding to this. You've heard me say that a few of them absolutely are probably misidentified human drones, probably from China, Iran, Russia, checking out our airspace over sensitive areas because they know we've had a very weak government and they want to get in as much before Trump comes in and cracks the whip. But now you're hearing reports that these things are coming from the water. We're talking USOs coming from alien bases, perhaps. It's up for you to decide. Now, here's a nut. This one right here is over Los Angeles. This is over Hollywood, I believe. I thought this was possibly a bunch of balloons, but then I don't see the balloons wobbling, especially since you see a group of them. So the question is, are we looking at a craft, a drone, or are we looking at a flying humanoid? Love to know what you guys think, what you guys and gals think about this one. But pay attention, it does not fly like a balloon at all. At all. Now, uh, with these USOs, we know there are several hotspots right here by me, for instance, the harbor or the waters between Los Angeles and also Catalina. So you have the Malibu base, for instance. Preston Dennett, my dear friend, former co host, author of 32 plus books, has written a couple books on USOs, is known as the worldwide expert on USOs, and has so many cases where anything from small spheres to massive battleship sized craft are leaving the waters. So now, from around the world, okay, let me back this up for a second because you need to hear this. I'm actually going to turn on the audio briefly and then I'll mute it again. So, what we're about to hear, I was just talking about multiple cases of things coming out of the water, including police cases. There exists phone calls to police. Now, we're going to back this up because I want you to hear the police talking about these UFOs or drones. Here we go.
It says stationary. Listen.
Down here, 116. 2 to 3 low flying aircraft, possibly drones, out over the ocean. It's hard to say how far out, but it could be at least miles north of us. As I said before, probably closer to Asbury. Yeah.
All right. So
Look at that. So, of course, you probably heard the FBI's investigated. There's no threat. They're just drones. Nothing to see here, folks. Of course, I hate how the media is throwing the word drone out. It is their safe word because when they say it, and most people hear it, they go back to their busy lives. They think the case is solved. But when you have what's is anything but a drone, you have triangles, you have things look like TR3Bs, you hear low hums, and you see 10 or 20 or 30 of them. I don't know, folks. That doesn't really they're not operating like drones. Like I said, some have to be. I will keep reiterating that point. But for the most part, what you're seeing over Manchester, the commercial airport, or those RAF bases where they've flown over, or Maryland, or DC, or Florida, or New Jersey, or Arizona, or now California, I don't think all of them are drones. Some of them clearly are going to be UAPs, and we can go a step further and say some are possibly UFOs. And I don't mean unidentified flying object. I think you guys know what I say UFO. The reason this DSLR camera is up is so you can see that there's no hidden part to this craft, meaning if it was a winged aircraft, you would see the wings. What you see is what actually this object is. Look at that triangle. Like, tell me what we have that flies like that silently and is able to hover, change, direction on a dime, which is what some people have reported. I'd love to see more footage, but watch, we're going to have more footage come tomorrow. I will have a new entire flood of this info, this footage. Okay, I'm going to break some news to you before the night is over. Let's see how much longer we got. Yeah, we got another 5 minutes. Okay. So as you know, I've interviewed tons of people, have lots of contacts from every ufologist you can imagine, everybody. If you haven't heard those interviews, make sure you check under the playlist of live interviews, or live under, instead of under video section of this channel, go under live, since most of them were done live. And also, I've interviewed politicians, governors, senators, congressmen, congresswomen, DEA, DIA, NSA, CIA. And what I'm hearing is the people in the Pentagon, the higher ups, the generals, the career people, the people that have the need to know for these unacknowledged special access projects, are saying, quote, the Sumerian gods are returning, unquote. Let me say that again. The higher ups in the Pentagon and DOD who are in the know are saying the Sumerian gods are returning. Are they inferring that the Anunnaki are coming back and that's what we're seeing? Are they saying that they've been hiding in these ocean bases, or they're interstellar or in another dimension, but are now coming back? What is it that they know that they're not telling us? And they need to start telling us this right away, because this involves the entire globe. MUFON, in the history of UFO reporting, said they have never, ever received so many UFO sighting reports, ever, in the history of UFO reporting. By the way, this was given by John Greenwald, and the cameraman was thought to be changing direction. I personally thought it's just a plane making a right turn. But what I'm told, the reason why he shared it publicly is because of the noise heard, and also the triangle shape, and the fact that it rotated, didn't turn but rotated. I'm going to leave that one up for you to decide, because to me there was other ones that were way more credible than this one tonight. So that is almost all the news I have for you. Well, except we actually have two more. What am I saying? Actually, there's one even crazier one after this. This is Brazil. Um, why are they appearing in groups? Now, I'm sure you all heard that in 2009, this early version of AI, similar to ChatGPT, called WebBot, this guy was using it for stocks, the creator of it, and then decided to use it for more to scour the internet for things. And it came across a prediction, or set a prediction then, that there would be there would be an alien invasion where you would see UFOs in the sky fighting with others, and even fighting with our own military. And this would happen after a trigger event that was Joe Rogan interviewing Trump. In 2009, it didn't say Donald Trump, it said politician, and it did say Joe Rogan, and this was during the infancy of his show. Now, is that what's really happening? Are we really in the midst of this global invasion? I think it's more of a coincidence, because we've already had this massive uptick of activity that's been going on for several months and escalating for several years now. Really, it all blew open in 2019 is when things started skyrocketing. This is also right here in Los Angeles. Again, what is it? Look at, are some fading out and fading in? What are they hovering over? Is there a nuclear silo that the public doesn't know? Again, this is very, very mind boggling. What I want to know is how many of you watching actually witnessed any of this that you're seeing here tonight, or saw something similar in your sky. And also, anyone who has been a contactee or an abductee, also please do let me know, because generally, a lot of the questions I ask, you guys have the answers that everybody should hear. We are living in AD. This is now after disclosure. I say disclosure happened in 2019 after the Pentagon acknowledged the UAP task force, and or the existence of ATIP, which came after OSAP. And so therefore we are about to enter 6 AD, but it looks like things have blown up so much the last few days. What are we heading towards, folks? What do you think is coming? Also, you'll see real quick, there is my Minds handle. If you guys start using Minds more often, I will gladly be on there regularly. I'm still banned on Twitter, but it looks like my secondary account might have been restored after 6 years. But my main account is still gone. I will keep you posted when that starts to happen. And by the way, if you can spare to skip Starbucks for a day and instead of buying a coffee, send me a super thank you. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested in member services or Patreon, I will start giving you exclusive stuff. But in the meantime, I want to hear from you fine folks. With that being said, that is what we have for you tonight. And I will catch you on the flip side.